Hey guys, it's Vintage Vinny, and I have an antique store haul to share with you today. Got a great assortment of stuff as usual, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. Stay tuned. The very first item I'd like to show you all in this haul video is something I picked up at the antique shop. It's really cool. It's from 1957. It's a Schlitz beer sign. If you heard a little bit of air blowing, I apologize. My headboard is literally right above a vent. So we just got a bunch of different people in here. I apologize for the glare. Up here, like right there, it says 1957. I think his name was Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's where my mom is from. If I didn't mention it, originally the sign was $15, which I thought was a really good price, and then I realized the booth was having a 20% off sale, so I jumped on it. This is going to be for me. I'm going to hold on to it. I love vintage advertising, especially if it's cheap. Not much of a drinker, but I love the art of old advertising. There are some scrapes right here, but you know, stuff like this isn't meant to be perfect. It's over 60 years old now, so take what you can get, right? And I did forget to mention the frame is broken right here. But for $12, I mean, you can't go wrong with that, can you? I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to sell this piece yet. This is a vintage bathroom fixture. It's a towel holder. It's got tarnish and stuff all over it, so I am going to have to polish it up. It's either made of aluminum or maybe like pipe metal. I'm probably going to end up keeping this for myself because these are hard as can be to find boxes to ship them in. And they can be pricey to ship depending on the size of the box and how much the box itself weighs. This was originally $6, but it came from a booth that always has 50% off unless it's marked firm. And most of his items are never marked firm. I don't think I've seen one item marked firm in his booth. So, always good prices. He marks it up just to get at least half of the price of what he has on his tickets. So, I buy a lot of stuff from him because his prices are so reasonable. Picked up this really cool set of new old stock sports stick Meyercord decals of fish. Probably would be put in a bathroom or maybe even a man cave back in the day. Paid 80 cents for these. Here's what the back looks like. I thought that was super cool that it gave you ideas of as to what you could do with these. In terms of what I think I might be able to get for them, right now, pre-research, I'm thinking maybe 12 to 15. So we will see what happens. If not, it'll be cheaper. And this is going to be a breeze to ship because all you have to do is send it media mail because it's paper. So these were really interesting. I'm not much of a floral person, but sometimes if something like this pops up, I will pick it up. Then again, I look for pretty much anything that I can make a buck on, so I'll buy girls things, I'll buy boy things, I'll buy anything that's just unique and different, and these definitely fit it. These are vintage 1970s yellow and green floral canister sets made by Aladdinware. Oops. Not spelled like the traditional Aladdin. It's got the genie lamp, and there it is, Alladinware. So originally he was asking $5 a piece. I got 2 of them. They're in very good condition, so essentially, both being half off, I got both for $5. Now, in terms of what I think I'm going to ask, because I don't see this pattern on eBay, at least when I looked up vintage plastic Aladdinware canisters, I think I'm going to ask $25 to $30 for both of these. Remember, if you see anything that you are interested in that is featured in my videos, if I mention it's for sale, the link is down below in the description box and you will see these very soon. I apologize if you don't see the items up as soon as I release the video. It just sometimes takes a little bit of time to get stuff up, especially when I accumulate so much. I gotta sort it, I have to bring it downstairs, I have to list it, I gotta take photos of it, and yada yada, you know, the whole 9 yards. So, yeah, I thought those were a really good deal, and I know somebody who really likes 70s stuff would definitely enjoy these. For $2, I got this really, really groovy vintage suitcase that I'm going to be listing very soon. This was originally $10, and then they marked it down to $5, and then I got it for $2. I would have paid the $5. 10 would have been pushing it, but I mean, that's still pretty good considering, you know, of how clean it is. And it even came with the original key, which you don't see very often. Put that down so you guys can see it. So I thought that was interesting. I've never seen vintage luggage with the original key. Let me go ahead and open this up for you guys so you guys can see the inside and see how clean it is. For something that's over 50 years old and in this good a condition, I'd say this was a pretty good score. In terms of what I'm going to ask for it, I'm thinking maybe 40 bucks, 45, 50 bucks. And I think it will sell because I've got the original key, like I mentioned before. Now that we got the larger stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into some of the smaller items. So all the small items that I'm going to share with you all came from 2 different antique malls. I'll try to remember how much I paid for some of the stuff, if it doesn't have a tag on it. Okay. So I was really, really surprised to find one of these. This is a Fire King Jadeite mug. I've never owned one myself because they've been so expensive and I wasn't about to pay like $8, $9 for one. So somebody in their booth was only asking $3 for it. Now, as you can see, there is some utensil marks and stuff all over it, so I might take some barkeeper's friend to it just to see if I can get it out, because it's still overall very bright and shiny. So I will see what happens there. I was pleasantly surprised to see this for cheap. If I saw this in a thrift store for $2.99, I definitely would have picked it up, even if I think that's a little high for a thrift store price. But for an antique mall, that's pretty darn good. What do you think? So I found one of these, and I love picking these up when I find them. This is a milk glass gooseneck lampshade. Overall in very good condition. The edges are a little rough, which is typically what you find in these. I've never had one this size before. I only paid 80 cents for this. That's correct, you heard me right, 0.80 cents. These can do very, very well. At least I find that they do whenever I find them and sell them. I think because of the shape of this one and the size of it specifically, I'm probably looking at about $35 to maybe $40, or maybe possibly more. So if you ever see these when you're out flea marketing or thrifting, or even antiquing, pick them up because they are very, very hot sellers, because people are always looking to restore the old gooseneck lamps. This does fit into industrial, or into the industrial category, so a lot of people like those. Again, another cheap piece here. I don't know what it is about these vintage, or quote-unquote vintage car planters. This one was only 80 cents as well. It was made by Napco in Japan. Free of any cracks or chips. I've got a bunch of the quote-unquote old car planters. This is probably from the 60s. That's when a lot of that retro car wear came out. But I thought that was really cool, and 80 cents, I was not leaving that behind. So these were really, really interesting. I've never ever seen these before. These are vintage seahorse mugs. See, they both got seahorse handles. I thought those were super, super interesting. As you can see, there is a little bit of chip right there, but that just adds to the charm to me. This one does not have a mark on the bottom. However, this one does. It says Stark's California Marine Wear. I paid $5 for the set here. Now, to some that may have been a little bit more than I should have paid, but honestly, no cracks in them. The detailing is really, really cool. You've got a coral reef with some fish. I might be able to get that out, maybe not. But that's just really neat. Because I work for the discount retailer, or at least I did, Home Goods, I remember seeing stuff like this coming in all the time in the decor area, just like that rusticy, warped stuff. But this is the real deal vintage. This isn't the stuff that they remake. So this is definitely something very, very cool. And like I said, I'd never seen it before, and $2.50 a glass for an antique shop, that is very, very reasonable. Don't know what possessed me to pick this up. It's a mallard duck. I've got kind of a weird thing going on with the ducks lately. I've been finding a lot of them. He was only $1.20. I think I might be able to get 15 out of him. No cracks or chips. He does have a Japan stamp on the bottom of him, so I do know he's older. I think somebody who's into hunting would really, really like this. I found these for myself. Anytime I find a pair of unique salt and pepper shakers, I will go ahead and pick them up. I think these wound up costing me... I think they were either $3 or they were $2.80. No. Let's see. $2.40 possibly. I don't have my receipt with me, but along those lines. They're marked Japan. I love finding stuff like this. Because salt and pepper shakers are really easy to come by. And if I find them and I want to resell them, I can because I get them pretty inexpensively. For my mom, you all know that she really, really likes the Mermaid Wade figurines. I went to this one booth and she had only had one left, and thankfully I snatched it. She was only asking $2. That's cheaper than what you would pay online for these. My mom has really been into the succulents, as a lot of people are nowadays. And I gave her one of these and she put it in the little terrarium she bought. So now she has two that she's going to put in there. Make it look cool. Alright, so we've got a random assorted bag of goodness. I can't remember exactly what I paid. I know it was relatively inexpensively. So let me go ahead, or relatively inexpensive, sorry. So let me go ahead and open this up and we will go ahead and look and see what's inside. Okay, so I just looked at the receipt and I only paid 80 cents for these 5 figurines. And I know I'm definitely going to be able to make my money back on them. This little girl right here I think is going to pay for that entire bag. I think she's real cute. She's definitely got vintage vibes on her. There's a foil label on here, but you can't really make out what it says. I might be able to make it out. I think it just says made in Japan. Let's see if I can get it to focus so you guys can see it too. You might be able to just faintly make it out. It just says Japan. She looks like she'd go with something springy. She says sapphire on the bottom here, so I don't know if this is a birthstone angel or what, but I think she can generate at least $10. I don't see any cracks or chips on her or repairs. She's in pretty good shape, I think. So I think she'll definitely make me some good green. Now these next 4 figurines I'm not exactly sure what to do with. This is a bird. Most of the paint on it's gone. It's got Japan on the back of it right there. These I might end up sending to Miss Stone Home for crafting. I might keep the birds here because that looks like something you could use at Valentine's Day. Bird I think I'm definitely going to end up sending to her because she can always use these for something. Same with this dog here. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with him. He's marked Japan. I don't even know if that's a bulldog or what that is, but I'm not sure. That'll probably just go to her too. Now this is interesting. This almost looks like someplace in like maybe India or like maybe Italy. You know what this does remind me of? This looks like something you'd put in a fish tank. I mean, don't you think? It's got Japan on the bottom of it. I think it's definitely cool. So yeah, those were interesting, and I didn't think 80 cents was too much to ask. By the way, those onion, salt, and pepper shakers were $3. There was no discount on them. Not a big deal, at least not to me anyway. Alright, so this came from another vendor. It's just a Hazel Atlas strawberry. A lot of people ask a lot for these, like upwards of $8 in their booths. That's absolutely insane. I paid only $1.20 for this, which is a great price. The apple that I got, I paid 25 cents for. So now I have the strawberry to go with it. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, these are not marked anywhere, but Upon doing research, Hazel Atlas put these out. Alright, so this came from a different antique mall. It's a vintage circus mug made by Hank's Craft in USA. It's got 971 at the top. So this was originally $6.50. It was 50% off, so I only paid $3.25 for it. I think it's really cool. In terms of the age, it could be anywhere from the 30s up through the 60s, I think. No cracks or chips. There might be some light crazing on it due to age, but that's normal with ceramics from that time period. So this came from the same person that I got all that other stuff from. It's a vintage match holder. I really like the image of the matchbook up here. It was $5. No markings on it to indicate where it was made. Probably a US piece or maybe even a Japan import. Up until now, I didn't realize how much crazing was on it, but I guess that's normal due to age, like I said. I saw another one on eBay similar to it, or the exact same one. I think I might ask $17, maybe $18 for this one. It's in good shape, just a lot of crazing. Or I might just keep it. I just like the, it kind of reminds me of Christmas, like a light red, pinkish red on the, and then the green. I may go ahead and sell it. But I think somebody will definitely enjoy that. I found this for Real Nifty Vintage. It was a set for $5, so I paid $2.50 for both of them. Unfortunately, being the moron that I am, I was trying to push the lid on here while the other glass was at the bottom. But let me reword that. They were stacked together, and I was trying to push the lid on while they were stacked together with no protection in between the two glasses, so I broke the other one, which was lidless. But I think he will really enjoy this, because I know he likes the ivy. It's not Franciscan, but it's definitely up his alley. Now, this is marked HA, which stands for Hazel Atlas. I think he'll definitely like that. Also from that same booth that I got the mug from, I found this Lusterware Lion pincushion, marked Japan on the bottom. He was $3.50. I think he was originally a souvenir piece upon research. I did look it up, and not a lot of them sell for a great deal, but like I say, the most I really like to sell my stuff for is at least $10, so that's what I'm probably going to end up asking for this. You can ship this thing first class. It's not very heavy at all. So from $3.50 to $10, if that's what I can sell it for, I'm golden. So this whole bag of porcelain knobs cost me, let's see here, cost me $1.56. These are probably from, I don't even know. I think they say Japan on some of them. I can't remember exactly where I'd seen that, but you've got the typical knobs, and then you've got the handles. One of them is broken, as you can see right here, so that's not going to be included in the lot when I sell them. I don't know how old these are because I don't know what... I just don't know. I mean, I think they could probably be 60s or 70s because the brown, or I could be wrong. I don't know. It's hard to date stuff like this. But I know people are always looking to restore older pieces of furniture with original hardware, so I know these will sell well. Despite the fact that they're really heavy. Let's see. Oh, I also got some other hardware too, and I think somebody's gonna really like these. I've got 5 of the Eagle outlet covers. These were, let's see, $2. And there's some lighter brass, and then you've got some darker ones that I think almost look like cast iron. Let me go ahead and take them out of the bag so we can look at them up close. So we've got this one, a lighter brass color. I think these definitely date to the 1960s or the 1970s. Or they could be from the 40s, because I know Americana was popular even then, but I'm leaning more towards bicentennial era, late 60s, early 70s. They have a mark of CSA on the bottom. So we got that one, that's a lighter colored brass, and then we've also got this darker colored brass. These ones are a little bit heavier. Almost look like cast iron. And these do not have a mark on the bottom of them. Other than that, that's probably a stock number right there. 803. I'm gonna sell all those together in a lot. What I'm gonna ask? Not exactly sure. I've got to do my research. Sorry if that was particularly loud. Alright, I'm gonna save the last item, which was my favorite find from this one person, for last. Now, you all know I love looking at the old media, like the old tabloids, even though they're nowhere, or they're no more truthful than anything that people put in the tabloids nowadays, but they're still just really cool to look at, and just, you know, I love looking through stuff like this. I paid $2.50 for this Confidential. This was from, I think, 1956. You've got Elvis on the front cover. Let me focus so you guys can see it better. You got Elvis on the front cover. You've got Joan Crawford. We've got Dan Daly. No, sorry, Daly, not Daly. The beautiful blonde British bombshell Diana Dors. Just really interesting stuff. I've seen Confidential magazines on documentaries from biography, and I've always been curious as to what's in them. And I mean, it's nothing like great, but like I said, I've never looked inside one of these, so it was definitely interesting to see what kind of lies people spread back then about these people. So that was definitely a interesting pickup. Now, the last item I picked up was bought as is, but you'll see how cool it is once I show it to you. So this is a really, really cool piece of advertising, actually. It says, "Compliments of H.J. Hansen & Co. General Merchandise in Brayton, Iowa. Beautiful girl in an ovular frame," with that on there. That is just super cool. He had this marked $9. I got it half off at $4.50. Honestly, I probably would have just paid him the $9 because this is something very unique. In terms of the age, I would probably say this is from the 1920s, 1930s. In terms of the value, not exactly sure. I'm going to keep this for myself because I think it's really, really cool. Very unique, very different, which is what I like when I pick up stuff. It's got a little place to hang it, and you can definitely see the age on this. This is definitely older. So I will definitely be holding on to this for many years to come because I think this is just super, super cool. And I don't even really care that the thermometer is broken because guess what? That just shows you that this piece was well loved, and you just can't go wrong with that. So I thought that was definitely interesting. I mean, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. So that's all I have for you today. Be sure and give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when new videos are posted. All the links to my social media accounts via Instagram are down below as well, where you will see pictures of items to come in future haul videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys!